Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. One by one, sometimes hour by hour, the president's defenses just keep collapsing. Here's how things have gone as the president and his allies have tried to defend the indefensible. First, they stake out a position, and then that position falls out from under their feet, so they retreat a step, and then that position falls out from under their feet. And so it goes over and over and over again. It started with that infamous phone call between Trump and Ukrainian president, where he asks for military assistance, Ukrainian president, and Trump responds with, quote, "I would like you to do us a favor, though." At first, Trump and company insisted the call was a perfect call, arguing it was perfectly appropriate for a president to coerce a besieged foreign entity into investigating his rivals, so long as there was no quid pro quo. That was their line. And then came Bill Taylor's testimony yesterday. He's the U.S. chief of mission to Ukraine, who made very clear there was a quid pro quo directed by the president. Ukraine would only get the desperately needed military aid that Congress had already authorized if the Ukrainians agreed to manufacture dirt on Trump's political rival in a televised interview and provide ammo for the president's baseless conspiracy theory about the 2016 election. Now, to be sure, the quid pro quo was already fairly clear. It's basically right there in the call text. But Taylor's testimony appeared to establish it more or less definitively. So then they moved the line again, with Trump effectively arguing this morning, okay, there may have been a quid pro quo, but it was a really incompetent one because we never told them we were withholding the aid, which is a defense, I guess? Here's Trump's tweet quoting what a Republican congressman said on Trump TV, quote, "Neither Taylor or any other witnesses provided testimony the Ukrainians were aware that military aid was being withheld. You can't have a quid pro quo with no quo." But it didn't take long for that one to collapse either. Just a short time after that very tweet, the New York Times, with an alert on your phone, reporting that Ukraine knew of the aid freeze by August, which, as the Times notes, completely undermines Trump's defense. There is your quo. And by the way, just a little while after that story came out, the AP reported that the Ukrainian leader felt Trump pressure before even taking office. The president of Ukraine, as an incoming president, even hosted a meeting all the way back in May, 2 weeks after being elected, before he was even inaugurated president. And the meeting focused on, quote, how to navigate the insistence from Trump and his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, for a probe into the Bidens. As Trump's defenses keep collapsing, his political standing keeps deteriorating. A new Quinnipiac poll finds that support for the impeachment inquiry has reached a new high, with 55% of the country, a clear majority, backing the inquiry. Nearly half of registered voters, 48%, already say that Trump should be impeached and removed from office. Then there's a situation in the Senate. According to the Daily Beast, Trump has been privately whining that Senate Republicans are, quote, failing to counter-program the Democratic-led House impeachment inquiry. It is understandable they aren't rallying to the president's defense, as one senior Senate Republican aide told the Daily Beast, quote, they are not very enthusiastic about defending the indefensible on this stuff. Just listen to what Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell had to say yesterday.
The president has said that you told him that his phone call with the Ukrainian president was perfect and innocent. Do you believe that the president has handled this Ukrainian situation perfectly?
We've not had any conversations on that subject.
So he was lying about that?
You'll have to ask him.
To be sure, Trump still has plenty of Republican sycophants in the House. Today, in a truly pointless stunt, seemingly designed solely to generate content for Trump TV, a bunch of them made a big show of storming the secure facility in the Capitol where impeachment investigators are deposing witnesses. We should note that some of these folks are on the committees doing the investigating, so they don't need to storm the proceedings because some were already allowed inside and had been inside before. But they apparently wanted to put on a show of obstructing the hearing, and Trump appeared to be fully on board with their obstruction. Bloomberg reporting the president, quote, had advanced knowledge and supported the stunt. Republicans did manage to delay the proceedings with their hijinks, but they couldn't stop it. I mean, this ongoing and increasingly hysterical whining from Republicans about the process is born of impotence. The Constitution gives to the House, and to the House alone, the ability to impeach the president. Democrats control the House because they decisively defeated dozens of Republicans in 2018, and Democrats now represent a majority of Americans in that body of our government. It is becoming more and more clear that Republicans in the White House view this as fundamentally illegitimate. Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.